You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
This card, it just keeps getting better and better and better. Charles Do Bronx Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan, the man I mentioned that could be juicing. I'm just saying that allegedly because that guy is super jacked, but he's probably always been super jacked, and I'm just kind of noticing how super jacked he is right now. He just destroyed Beneil Dariush the last time out. 1 minute. Straight right, sent him to the ground, and that just kind of signified that Dariush is completely cooked. Oliveira, the last time out, I think, he fought Dariush as well. Am I mistaken in that, or because right now my internet wants to melt down?
No, I think
Great.
Beneil was doing pretty well with him for a little. It took him a little bit in the first round, and then he, I don't know if he dropped him into. I know he had some nasty ground.
He had the head kick. The head kick wobbled him, and then he eventually tried to shoot a takedown. No, he tried to shoot a takedown. Then he ended up just flopping on his back, and that was it. Oliveira got him out of there. Oliveira, I was watching the replay of the Gaethje fight. That's one of the best fights I've personally ever. 1-round fights that you could ever have. But odds wise here, Ty, I believe Mr. Tsarukyan was the favorite, and he still is at minus 225, 200 to Charles Oliveira's plus 185, 165, 175. I imagine they think he's just going to get swarmed on the ground, and that this fight's going to look a lot like the Islam Makhachev fight, because I know Tsarukyan has, his kind of claim to fame, or one of the notches on his belt is the fact that he was the guy who gave Islam one of the toughest fights outside of the guy who knocked him out. He was there, move for move. He was grappling with him the whole time. He looked good in that Islam Makhachev fight. Now that was a long time ago. Islam was younger. Arman was also younger then as well. But this is a whole different animal for him. Oliveira is 7 years his senior. He's going to be 3 inches taller, have an inch and a half of reach. Ty, I can't bet against Oliveira.
Yeah, especially when you're given a number like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take Charlie Olives, and that's what I'm going to do, man. His durability has never been his strength, but he definitely fights through the fire, especially as of late. He likes to play off his back, which could be a recipe for losing rounds if this were to go to the scorecards, or just maybe getting ground and pound it. Most finishes UFC history. Muay Thai knees are going to be huge in this fight, as he is 3 inches taller, an inch and a half in reach. I think that's going to matter. I think he's got more devastating power in general, even though Tsarukyan does have some good power. The thing about Tsarukyan is just such a good athlete. It seems like explosive power. He's just so powerful in grappling exchanges. I can see him kind of just being stronger than Charles Oliveira. Very athletic, very very durable. Despite he did get rocked bad against Joaquin Silva on super short notice. I do think that kind of matters because Charles Oliveira is just a different animal. When it's not like you're taking a fight against Jim Miller. Do love Jim Miller, but he's somebody that is never an easy fight. Charles Oliveira is never not a difficult fight. I don't know how or what Tsarukyan's game plan to start this fight is going to be, but I think eventually he's going to have to shift game plans, and it won't matter. I think I got Charles Oliveira inside the distance. I kind of want to go specific. So I was thinking sub. Now, I went back and watched some Tsarukyan fights. He's never really fought anybody. He's actually never been. He's never had a submission attempted on him, despite fighting Davi Hamosh, who was a ACDC champion. So I think once Charles Oliveira gets that back, it's going to be a wrap. I mean, it pretty much is for anybody else. But what do you think?
So yeah, I think a lot of what you said is right. I don't know how this fight starts because Oliveira is going to walk across the octagon and just try to bring the hell to him. I think Tsarukyan's going to try and get him to the ground and just smother him, similar to the way that maybe a Beneil Dariush did to a Tony Ferguson. Just try to neutralize all those submissions. Not really get a submission of your own, maybe, or maybe you could, but I think giving up a position and maybe giving your backup against a Charles Oliveira is a little bit of a dangerous game. I think Tsarukyan is a little bit overlooking Oliveira and thinking that he's kind of a one-trick pony and that he's going to be easier to get him out of there. I just don't know. I think he could maybe fight could look like the Islam fight where he rocks him, gets him out of there, and maybe submits him on the ground, something along those lines, and we're like, wow, like Tsarukyan is for real. I could definitely see that happening. I refuse to bet for that to happen because I don't. It's not. I don't know. I don't think that's a good. I don't think it's a good bet. I just don't. I don't think Tsarukyan has proven himself to be at that level yet. Like it's unfortunate. Yeah. My mentality. That's why I probably lose. I have to see it first. You can't tell me that I'm supposed to expect him to make this big jump up in competition. And this is a guy who was growing grapples for grapples with Matus Gamrot, who Beneil Dariush just smoked Gamrot. I know MMA math doesn't work because then he went on and smoked Beneil Dariush. But you're talking about Damir Ismagulov, Christos Gallegos, Joel Alvarez, Joaquim Silva, and Beneil Dariush are your last 5 wins. That's a little bit different than what Oliveira was going through in his last 5 wins. So that's the problem that I go into when you talk about some of these fights. And Oliveira was fighting 5 rounds in a lot of these fights. He's now back to 3, so he's going to have cardio for days. I think he finds a way. And I think the number is right. If it was on the other side, I probably would be betting Tsarukyan. It's just one of those fights where we talk about whoever the underdog is, I'm probably taking them because it can really go either way. I feel good about this Oliveira bet, though.
Yeah. What are we doing, though? Sub? I want to take sub. I think inside the distance is a pretty good number. I think I'm just going to go with that.
I'm thinking about money line because I don't think the inside the distance is plus 275. Oh, I can get money line at plus 185. So I don't know if it's that big of a jump or worth it to me. I agree. I think it's probably more likely if he does win that he gets him out of there. So maybe I would sprinkle with sub on the side, but I think on the card I'm going to take money line.
Let's do money line. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's, I could see a split decision kind of where this is a war and Oliveira wins, or Tsarukyan's tough. I can't imagine it's going to be easy to get him out of there. That maybe he controls him on the back and he wins a round, or maybe knocks him down one round and kind of steals this or that. 15 minutes is quick for when you're talking about guys who have been in there fighting for titles and main events on a card like this. So you
are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.